Welcome back to today's history. It's May 16th, and today's date is packed with turning points that reshaped our world, from the crowning of emperors to groundbreaking inventions, from the birth of revolutionary movements to the first woman conquering Everest. May 16 has it all. Buckle up as we uncover the powerful stories that made this day unforgettable. Chapter 1. Baldwin I crowned as first Latin emperor of Constantinople, 1204. On May 16, 1204, Baldwin of Flanders was crowned the first Latin emperor of Constantinople, following the brutal sacking of the city during the Fourth Crusade. This moment didn't just mark a power shift, it marked the fall of one of the most iconic cities of the medieval world into Western European hands. The Byzantine Empire, once the eastern stronghold of Christianity and Roman legacy, was shattered as Latin crusaders carved out their own empire. Baldwin's coronation inside the ancient Hagia Sophia symbolized not only a new political order, but also a deepening rift between Eastern Orthodoxy and Western Catholicism. Though Baldwin's reign was short and fraught with conflict, the Latin Empire's existence disrupted regional balance and intensified the cultural divide between East and West for decades to come. This moment reshaped medieval geopolitics and stands as a powerful symbol of Crusader ambition and Byzantine decline. Chapter 2. Voltaire imprisoned in the Bastille, 1717. On May 16, 1717, the sharp-tongued writer and philosopher Voltaire was imprisoned in the Bastille. His crime? Daring to criticize the French monarchy and nobility with his biting wit and radical ideas. At just 23 years old, Voltaire had already become a rising star in Parisian literary circles, but his fearless satire of the powerful earned him enemies in high places. The Bastille, a symbol of royal oppression, became both his prison and, ironically, a platform that would elevate his voice. During his 11-month confinement, he refined his thoughts on freedom of speech, justice, and the abuse of power, ideas that would later define the Enlightenment. Voltaire's imprisonment didn't silence him. In fact, it fueled a lifelong crusade against tyranny and censorship. His experience in the Bastille stands as a reminder that words can threaten empires, and that one man's pen can rattle the foundations of a kingdom. Chapter 3. The marriage of Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette, 1770. On May 16, 1770, a grand royal wedding was held in the palace of Versailles. Crown Prince Louis Auguste of France, later Louis XVI, married the 14-year-old Archduchess Marie Antoinette of Austria. The marriage was more than a romantic union, it was a powerful political alliance meant to strengthen ties between two long-time rival empires, France and Austria. The lavish ceremony, filled with opulence and tradition, was watched by thousands, and celebrated as the dawn of a new diplomatic era in Europe. But what began as a symbol of unity would ultimately foreshadow turmoil. As king and queen, Louis and Marie Antoinette would become central figures in the French Revolution, their reign marked by extravagance, public discontent, and ultimately tragedy. Their wedding on this day in 1770 set the stage for one of the most dramatic and defining periods in European history, proving that even the most glittering royal events can cast long shadows. Chapter 4. Emile Berliner introduces the gramophone, 1888. On May 16, 1888, in Philadelphia, Emile Berliner introduced a revolutionary device that would forever change how we experience music: the gramophone. Unlike Thomas Edison's phonograph, which recorded sound on cylinders, Berliner's gramophone used flat discs. These discs were cheaper, easier to produce, and could be duplicated, laying the foundation for the modern music industry. Berliner's demonstration wasn't just about a new invention, it was about a new era. His work brought music into people's homes, sparked the rise of recorded entertainment, and paved the way for everything from vinyl records to modern streaming. The sound quality may seem primitive by today's standards, but in 1888, hearing a human voice replayed from a disc was like magic. This milestone in sound technology helped bridge the gap between live performance and home entertainment, and it all began with Berliner's gramophone, introduced to the world on this very day. Chapter 5. Mustafa Kemal sets out for Samsun, 1919. On May 16, 1919, Mustafa Kemal, later known as Atatürk, set out from Istanbul aboard the ship Bandırma, heading toward the Black Sea city of Samsun. This journey marked the beginning of the Turkish War of Independence. Though the Ottoman Empire was crumbling under the weight of World War I and foreign occupation, Kemal's departure wasn't just a military assignment, it was a bold and deliberate step toward a new national movement. What started as a seemingly routine mission soon transformed into a powerful call for resistance. His arrival in Samsun just 3 days later would ignite a flame that led to the foundation of modern Turkey. This single voyage symbolized hope, resilience, and a vision for a sovereign republic. May 16th became not just a date on the calendar, but the starting point of a revolution that would reshape an entire nation's future. Chapter 6: Equal Pay Act passes in the United Kingdom, 1952. On May 16, 1952, a milestone for gender equality was reached when the United Kingdom passed legislation guaranteeing equal pay for women. It came after years of activism by women's rights groups and labor unions demanding fair treatment in the workplace. Until then, it was common for women to receive significantly lower wages than men for doing the exact same jobs. This legislation didn't just address salaries, it challenged deeply rooted societal norms and marked a turning point in the global movement for women's rights. Though full equality was still a long way off, this act laid the groundwork for future advancements and inspired similar efforts in countries around the world. May 16th became a symbol of progress, reminding us that justice and equality are not granted, they are fought for and won. Chapter 7: Soviet Venera 5 lands on Venus, 1969. On May 16, 1969, the Soviet space probe Venera 5 made a groundbreaking descent through the dense atmosphere of Venus. It was part of the USA's ambitious Venera program, which aimed to explore Earth's closest planetary neighbor. As Venera 5 plunged into Venus's thick clouds, it transmitted valuable data back to Earth, information that would help scientists better understand the planet's extreme pressure, scorching temperatures, and toxic gases. Although the probe only survived for a brief time after landing, its mission was hailed as a major success in planetary exploration. It showed that humanity could not only reach other planets, but also begin to uncover their secrets. Venera 5's legacy paved the way for future missions, marking a significant step in our quest to explore the cosmos. Chapter 8: Junko Tabei becomes the first woman to summit Mount Everest, 1975. On May 16, 1975, Junko Tabei of Japan became the first woman in history to reach the summit of Mount Everest. Her journey wasn't just a physical triumph, it was a powerful symbol of perseverance in the face of social and environmental obstacles. Battling through an avalanche that struck her team's camp days before the final ascent, Tabei pressed on despite injuries and fatigue. At a time when mountaineering was dominated by men and societal expectations often discouraged women from such dangerous pursuits, she shattered stereotypes with every step she took. Tabei's climb inspired generations of women around the world to defy limitations and pursue their dreams. Her courage, strength, and determination left a legacy far beyond the Himalayas, a reminder that no peak is too high when your will is stronger than the mountain. And that wraps up our journey through May 16th, a day of emperors and empires, breakthroughs in equality, cosmic exploration, and fearless firsts. These stories remind us how much can change in a single day, and how each moment in history echoes into the future. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a date with history. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow on Today's History.